Problem landscape. Canadian immigrants mostly come with high technician skills fundamentally due to the immigration point system of Canada. Coming with work experience and proper credentials from their homeland, these skilled workers who pass Canadian immigrant system still may not be enough to convince Canadian employers of their worth. During our research, we found that the problems exist when immigrants seeking employment in Nova Scotia. First, immigrants encounter barriers in language communication and accents. They're unfamiliar with workplace lingo and terminologies, and most of them do not have experience working in English. This has caused them facing a hard time in communication with other Canadians who speak English, and also will hinder them from either gaining new employment or have troubles completing tasks given to them by their superior. Second, encountering employers who are unfamiliar with international work experience and credentials. Potential employers may overlook credentials simply because they are unfamiliar with the names of foreign education institutions. Third, navigating the often complex trade and professional bodies and getting licensed in a regulated profession. Skilled worker in a regulated profession, for example, accountant, nurse, or teacher, may have more difficulties to start working in the same capacity in a new country. 4. Networking. For skilled immigrants in Nova Scotia, language and cultural differences can make networking difficult. Lacking professional connections continues to be an obstacle for skilled immigrants who are new to Canada. 5. The requirement of Canadian experiences. Many skilled immigrants in Canada find themselves being discriminated against by employers because they do not have work experience in Canada. Employer expectations for Canadian experiences put internationally trained professionals in double blind. They cannot get a job because they don't have Canadian experiences, and they cannot get Canadian experiences because no one will give them a job. These problems has impacted Canadian society such that 2/3 of university-educated immigrants are underemployed. Loss of income due to underemployment is estimated at $13 billion per year, according to RBC Economics.
Solution landscape. Employment services for immigrants. Employment services are available to immigrants through local libraries, Nova Scotia Work Centres, Immigration Services Association of Nova Scotia Halifax Partnership. Nova Scotia Work Centres provide employment services to help Nova Scotians understand, prepare for, and fill the needs of the province job market. Meeting with the case manager at a Nova Scotia Work Centre is the first step. Case managers understand employment services programs and have knowledge of the Nova Scotia labour market. Workshops, events about computer training, English learning, resume and cover letter writing, interview skills, job search strategies are conducted across the province through these centres. Halifax Public Libraries and networking. Immigrant services at the Halifax Public Libraries work with newcomers to help create a sense of community and belonging. English conversation groups help immigrants practice English and meet new friends while learning about local community and culture. Topics are discussed in a fun and relaxing atmosphere. ISEN Settlement Services work with immigrants to identify settlement goals and help to use strengths and resources to determine settlement needs. Immigration Association of Nova Scotia provides various services such as job search workshops, employment counseling, practice interview program, bridge to work program, professional practice program, mentorship program, career pathway loan funds, computer training, language training. The Nova Scotia Office of Immigration's Immigrant Settlement Funding Program assists community organizations, other public or non-government organizations, and language schools to provide services that facilitate successful integration and long-term residency of immigrants in Nova Scotia. Halifax Partnership, the Connector program, matches new residents, local and international graduates in Halifax, Nova Scotia with local employers or the connector's interest in a specific organization. Once the connection has made, an introduction email is sent to the connector and the connectee to set up a meeting.
Gaps and opportunities. Based on the problems and solution landscapes, we've identified the following gaps. Although some immigration-focused services are provided by the government, many immigrants are still visibly or invisibly underemployed. Second, immigrants lack the contextual knowledge and context in the Canadian society. They have expertise and experience for the job. What they often need to develop is contextual knowledge and context, the know-how and know-who to be successful in the Canadian environment. Hidden intent for a recruiting approach in the job market has caused a phenomenon called resume widening. Black applicants who widen their resumes or cover their minority status get an average of 2.5 times more callback. Besides all these, current immigrant services are not always adapted to the immigrants' professional needs. For those who don't have enough language skills and high skills, immigrant services do not provide appropriate opportunities, and rather focus on basic English and labor jobs. The programs and services provided are often too easy, while special skills training programs are not offered to everyone. And very few employers in Nova Scotia have established the training system to develop the contextual knowledge skilled immigrants need. Plus, immigrants are not used to pitch their professional background, skills, and relevant experiences in a professional manner in order to demonstrate their fit for a position. This adds another layer of difficulty to language and communication barriers. However, despite all the gaps, the opportunities are Canada's multiculturalism is alive and well and even expected to grow in the upcoming years. Efforts have been made in recent generations to make the country a mosaic of people and cultures. Equity is constitutionally protected today by the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. According to a study Beyond Canadian Experience project in U of T conducted by Izumi Sakamoto, she notes that the notion of Canadian experience is associated with the discomfort of having people who are not like us in our environment. Thus, there's room to eliminate discrimination and improve their experiences. Employers can use a variety of workplace learning approaches such as internships and mentoring to create the trusting environment needed for contextual knowledge development, helping to create a powerful workforce. Also, immigrants could use more government support to encourage hiring foreign skilled workers and creating a diverse work environment or shape diverse workforce. Study has found that the more regulated the industry is, the more likely foreign trained professionals are to readily find a job and receive orientation assistance. For example, government can support targeted job creation through economic incentives and encourage employers who create internships or permanent jobs for immigrants. Government can diversification by mandating employment equity. This will allow employers to shape workforce planning and seize the business opportunity of diverse job seekers and markets. Conclusion. Employers and policymakers both have a role to play in overcoming the immigrant employment barrier in Nova Scotia. Our future goal would be to make Canadian labor market that prospers from the full and meaningful integration of immigrants from all regions in the world, and to achieve a Canada that respects, values, and makes use of international education, experience, and expertise of immigrants. Bibliography. More bibliography can be seen in our file.